After 17 years of playing, LeBron James is still arguably the best player in the league and is able to do things no one else has done in year 17. He's one of the most accoladed players ever and was extremely dominant and one vote away from a unanimous MVP in 2013. Ever since winning the 2016 championship, many people have believed that LeBron is the greatest of all time. Is he? Before we get this video started, I just want to say, leave a like if you enjoy this content, subscribe, it'll mean a lot. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike, and let's get right into it. LeBron James has a lot going for him in the GOAT conversation. Third all-time in scoring, top 10 in assists, and top 15 in steals. He has the most All-NBA selections of all time to go along with 4 MVPs. He was second in voting for Defensive Player of the Year in 2013, and has won 3 championships with 3 Finals MVPs. The accolades alone can give him a case for the GOAT, but that isn't all that makes him great. Statistics never tell you everything about a player's ability. LeBron James is one of the best leaders in basketball, only missing the playoffs in 2004, 2005, and 2019. He's never lost in the first round of the playoffs, and with all those years adding up now, he has the most all-time playoff wins. Year after year, he has taken his team deep into the playoffs, whether he's playing with D. Wade and Chris Bosh or Larry Hughes and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He's been by far the best player on every team he's played for since his second season, and he makes every team he's on better. His impact is immeasurable, and his basketball IQ is off the charts. Nobody can lead a team quite like LeBron, and after his amazing performance in the 2016 finals, nobody has doubted his winning and leadership ability. Possibly the biggest argument for LeBron being the GOAT is his longevity. Every year since his rookie season, he's been on an All-NBA team. His stats have consistently stayed around 25 to 30 points and 7 or 8 rebounds and assists per game. Even now in his 17th season, he was able to average a career high in assists per game with 10.2. He's never been the most prolific player, but he's always been consistently great and has never had a bad year statistically. He's still just as fast as ever and can still get his hands considerably higher than the rim on dunks. The amount he invests in keeping himself in good shape shows that he's dedicated to staying in his prime as long as he can. I do think he was better in 2013, but that does not mean he is washed out and past his prime. Sometimes watching him, you forget how old he really is. Obviously, LeBron is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But what is the case against him for being the greatest? The greatness of LeBron James cannot be overstated. If he isn't the GOAT, he's easily a top 3 player of all time. But there are multiple reasons why he may not be the greatest that need to be brought to attention. Personally, my biggest problem with LeBron is that he's not very coachable. Obviously, any superstar will require a coach to change his system to some extent, but with LeBron there is no system. A LeBron team needs a coach that will let him coach the team himself. It's not an inherent problem, but it shows a weakness in him that Jordan didn't have. Early in his career, Jordan was the focus of the entire Bulls offense, but when Phil Jackson arrived, he needed to change his play style to a more off-ball style to fit the triangle offense, and he was able to do just that, even if he didn't necessarily like it at first. If Jordan had the same issues with being uncoachable, it would not hurt LeBron's case, but it's something you just can't ignore. The other major point against LeBron is despite his amazing consistency, he never reached some of the crazy heights of the other greats. This is not saying that he was not great during his career. He just never had amazing prolific seasons like some other greats. For the most part, his stats have been the same since 2005, and while he has some incredible performances, especially in the playoffs, he just doesn't seem to have that competitive edge that players like LeBron or Bird would have to drive them to have crazy performances in certain scenarios. He has a great mentality as a leader, but seems to lack the competitiveness that other greats have had. This isn't saying that he isn't competitive, it's just that some other players, Jordan included, had something significant that he didn't. The impact that LeBron James has left on the game of basketball is immeasurable, and there will never be anybody quite like him. I usually don't like comparing players with different playstyles from different eras. For the sake of this video, we'll have to come to a conclusion of who is the GOAT. And for that, I'm gonna stick with Michael Jordan. LeBron James is a close second in my opinion, just doesn't have the edge over Jordan. I think if LeBron does something very impressive in the next few years, my opinion may change. But what a lot of people don't realize is that because LeBron came out of high school, he's just as old now in year 17 as Jordan in his 13th season when he won an MVP. Both players had amazing longevity. I just think Jordan is a bit better. Again, this is all my opinion and you have the right to disagree. Do you think LeBron is the best player of all time? Drop that in the comments. Again, this is Real Talk NBA. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like this kind of content, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.